Have you ever looked down at that tattoo, you know the one, and just had that little thought, huh, what was I thinking? Maybe it was a youthful decision or a trend that didn't exactly age like fine wine? Well, if that's you, you are in very, very good company.
Just how good is that company? Well, get this. It's estimated that about 1 in every 4 people with a tattoo ends up regretting it.
Yeah, 1 in 4. That is a ton of people walking around with a permanent reminder of what was probably a temporary feeling. Which brings up a really fascinating question.
I mean, how on earth do you get rid of something that was specifically designed not to be gotten rid of? The answer, as it turns out, is pretty wild. It involves high-tech lasers, microscopic explosions, and the incredible hidden power of your own body.
Okay, so before we can get into zapping them off, we have to understand why tattoos are so stubborn in the first place. It all comes down to a battle that's happening right under your skin.
When you get a tattoo, a needle is basically punching these huge globs of ink deep into the dermis layer of your skin. Now, your body doesn't see a beautiful piece of art. No way. It sees an invasion. It's like a whole mountain range of colorful foreign boulders just got dropped into its territory without permission. Right away, your immune system freaks out and sends in the troops to get rid of these invaders. But here's the catch. The ink particles are just massive. They're way too big for your little immune cells to gobble up and haul away. So, since it can't kick them out, your body does the next best thing. It builds a wall around them, trapping the ink in a permanent prison of flesh. And boom, that's your tattoo.
So, if your body is powerless against these giant ink boulders, what do we do? Well, we call in the big guns. And by big guns, I mean a super precise, super powerful laser.
And how this works is actually kind of brilliant and simple. Picture this. Your skin is like a clear bowl of Jell-O. And the tattoo ink, it's like little dark burnt toast crumbs stuck inside that Jell-O. Now, if you shine a special kind of light on it, that light goes right through the clear Jell-O without doing a thing. But the dark toast crumbs, they soak up all that light energy and get super, super hot, almost instantly. And that's exactly why you need different lasers for different colors. Black ink is the easiest to deal with, because it absorbs pretty much any wavelength of light you throw at it. But for something like red ink, it reflects red light, so a red laser would be useless. You have to hit it with a green laser, which it will absorb. You have to match the weapon to the target.
And get this isn't some slow, continuous beam like in the movies. No, this laser fires in these unbelievably fast pulses. We're talking trillionths of a second. It's just this insane, instantaneous zap of pure energy.
All right, so let's hit the slow-mo button, and I mean really slow-mo, because what happens in the few nanoseconds right after that laser pulse hits, well, it's basically a tiny apocalypse inside your skin.
Okay, here we go. 1 nanosecond in, the photons from the laser smack into the ink. By 10 nanoseconds, that ink superheats to 600 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to make iron glow red hot. This crazy heat literally makes the ink particles explode. The water in your cells around it flashes into steam, creating this tiny, violent shockwave.
And the result of all that chaos? Remember that mountain range of boulders? Well, it's just been blown to bits. What's left is a microscopic war zone of carnage and shattered ink.
So that's what's happening on the inside. But what do you experience on the outside? Well, it's a sharp, snapping pain, kind of like a rubber band hitting your skin, the weird smell of burnt hair, and with every single pulse of that laser, you hear a loud crack. You know that strange white layer that shows up on the skin right after the thing they call frosting? That's not just a side effect, that is the explosion. It's literally the hot gas and steam bubbles from that tiny blast trapped just beneath the surface of your skin. Wild, right?
So the laser did its job. It was the demolition team. It blew up the building. But now, someone's got to clean up all that rubble. And that's where your body's own cleanup crew, your immune system, comes back into the picture.
Your body sends in these special cells called macrophages to start clearing the debris. Now, they can grab the tiniest little pieces of shattered ink and flush them away. But here's the thing. A lot of the fragments are still too big for them to handle. So what does your body do with the leftovers? The same thing it did before. It builds a new wall around them, trapping them again. And that is the key to why you need multiple sessions. So that ink that does get carried away, where does it all go? Well, some of it gets flushed out of your system, some is carried to your lymph nodes and just stored there, and the rest, like we said, gets trapped right back where it started.
It's so important to remember this. The laser doesn't remove the ink. It just breaks it into smaller pieces. Your body is what actually does the removal.
The explosions are done, the cleanup crew is hard at work. Now comes the healing part. And this is a process that takes a good bit of time. For the first few hours, that white frosting will fade and it'll probably feel like a nasty sunburn. Then, for a few days, it's going to be red, swollen, and super itchy. But hey, that itching is a good sign. It means your immune system is working hard. A week or so later, you'll start to see scabs, and after about 2 months, the whole area should be healed up and ready for the next round. And what's so cool is that the fading doesn't just stop a few days after the appointment. For weeks and weeks, your body is still in there, cleaning house, slowly carrying away more and more of those little ink particles. So the tattoo actually keeps getting lighter over time. All right, so we've been through the microscopic violence and the biological cleanup. What are the big things we should really take away from all this?
Okay, first, tattoo removal is not a gentle fading. It is a series of controlled, violent explosions happening inside your skin. Second, the laser is just a hammer. Your immune system is the cleanup crew. The laser breaks the ink, your body removes it. And finally, that's why it takes so many sessions, because each time your body can only clear away some of the debris before it walls off the rest all over again.
When you really think about it, it's just incredible. We mark ourselves with something that's supposed to be permanent, and yet, with a little help from some high-tech physics and our own biology, our bodies can help undo it. It really makes you wonder, if our bodies are capable of doing this, what other amazing things can they do that we don't even know about yet?